I'll tell you the this story of how one small yes led me to having an experience I could have never even dreamed of. So,
Oh, I can't wait.
when I was chairman of the Design Industry Foundation for AIDS, I had a board member who held a position at the Chicago Museum of Natural History. And Jim called me one day and said, I have to do a luncheon, and I'm putting together a group of people. I'd really like you to come. I don't think you're going to know anybody there. Would you please come? And I thought to myself, oh God, I'm not going to know anybody. And then I said, well, okay, yes, I will. Well, unbeknownst to me, I walk in this private dining room at the museum, and I am introduced to someone by the name of Viscount David Lindley. Well, I had been such a royal watcher that I knew right away this was the Princess Margaret's son and the nephew of the Queen of England.
Oh my goodness.
And he was visiting the museum. David had been creating these extraordinary pieces of furniture, mainly known for its inlay work. And so he was seated next to me. And I mean, he was good. I think he's probably 10, 12 years younger than I am. At the time, he was single. And we started chatting, and apparently he had a contract with Wedgwood to do dinnerware design. And when he found out that I was doing it, except on a much larger scale because I was doing it for the mass merchandisers,
Right.
he became, our conversation got very animated and very involved. And, he spoke of his mother, and it was just a really nice.
We were connecting on
We were
similar
connecting.
levels.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And so before we left, he said, please, if you're ever in London, please look me up. I want you to come to my studio. Well, unbeknownst to me, every mother, grandmother, and whatever in the world was leaving messages for him at the hotel, trying to get their daughters or granddaughters to meet him in the hopes of walking down the aisle.
Oh, yeah.
Anyway, lo and behold, about 6 months later, I did happen to be in London. I was on my way back from seeing a client in Bilbao, Spain, and I was going to stay in London a couple of days. And I called David, and he was very excited. Oh, please come to the studio. Gave me the address. It was on King's Road. And I arrived,
Amazing.
and he was, tell me, and he was so gracious. And, I remember he showed me a cabinet he had just completed for Elton John. And they had very narrow drawers. And as you opened the drawer, it was set up for every one of his eyeglasses. And then the outside was all beautiful inlay. And he said, well, come downstairs to the office and we'll have tea. So, go down these stairs, and here's this, kind of a small living room setup. And then beyond that was clearly a studio and like a kitchen. And somebody made tea and brought tea, and we started chatting. And he said, I very much want to be doing what you do. And I really, 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 would like your help. He said, I don't have the finances to do it or the contacts. And I'm hoping, and at that point, I burst out into laughter. And the laughter was so heavy and so infectious that he started laughing. And then finally, he said, I finally stopped laughing. And he said, what's so funny? I said, well, David, firstly, I am neither old enough nor rich enough to be your patron. I said, but beyond that, I am picturing my father turning over in his grave to think that the nephew of the Queen of England is hitting his daughter up for money. When, as a kid, I used to ask my dad for money, and he would say to me, "What do you think I am, the Bank of England?"
Oh, come on.
Honest to God, and we laughed so hard over this. And I sometimes wonder if my Midwestern, in-your-face kind of personality gets to even the highest echelon of society. But he was such a good sport. And so as I was leaving, he said, "Oh, you can't leave unless I give you a gift. I have to give you a gift." And so he ran through and he came out with this wonderful table easel, small easel, to put a painting on, not to use for actually creating artwork, but to display it, that had been made in the studio. And it was such a wonderful, just a great experience. I mean, for someone like, how the hell did this ever happen?